After understanding the various types of communication, their uses, and how to utilize them, keeping in mind the objectives of our work, we now come uh, to discuss the barriers of effective communication and how should we try to overcome them. In this session, we will detail about the barriers that are existing in our communication, because barriers of effective communication can impede the exchange of information and ideas, leading to misunderstandings, maybe, or many other kinds of inefficiencies, or maybe mistakes also. So we have to, we must be first, should be understanding these barriers, and then we should be knowing how to overcome them, which is very important for a clear and productive communication. So let us discuss some of them in detail. So first is the language barrier. uh, Language barrier actually poses significant challenge to effective communication, which hindering the seamless or maybe effortless exchange of information and ideas between individuals who speak different languages or have a different proficiency level in the common language. These barriers can lead to misunderstandings, maybe they can lead to confusion, misrepresentation, maybe, language differences. They always include unfamiliar terminologies because everybody does not know every language. And the language, if you do not know properly, and in spite of that, if you're using it, you might create lots of misunderstanding, and maybe you lead people to misinterpret what you're trying to convey. So this language difference will include maybe unfamiliar terminology, cultural nuances, or maybe variation in expressions that can impede a very clear or transparent communication. And how should we try to overcoming these barriers involves maybe using plain and simple language, or I would suggest that only using that language on which you have lots of command. You use that language. uh, you are confident that you won't be making mistake here. So to do that, use the language in which you have command. Use simple language. Avoid jargons, and confirming, understanding through feedbacks, etc. So cultivating language awareness and providing translation or interpretation services can bridge the gap in multicultural environments. So additionally, fostering a supportive and inclusive communication culture that values diverse linguistics backgrounds helps mitigate this language barriers, allowing the individuals to express themselves more freely and ensuring that messages are accurately conveyed and understood. So the barrier this kind of barrier is because of difference in language and terminology. Everybody does not know all the languages, and therefore that lack of knowledge leads to this problem. And in order to overcome this, one should use a clear and simple language. They should avoid jargon, and they should, also confirm first that to whom you are speaking to, whether he is well aware of that language or not. That is the best part, and that is the most, safe to go with you. And if the other person does not know that language, in that case maybe you can provide them some translation or interpretation services if it is necessary there. So that can be there. Then there is another barrier is due to cultural barrier. That is, it arises from the diverse or different kinds of norms, values, and communication system which are prevalent across different cultures. These barriers, this kind of barriers, they might create disturbance in terms of maybe, you impede the mutual understanding and lead to misinterpretation in both the personal and professional interactions. So, variances in nonverbal cues such as gestures, facial expressions, and body languages, they may result in a misunderstanding and misinterpreting also. Uh, in addition to this, differences in language, nonsense, idioms, or even the perception of time can hinder might hinder the clear communication. So, overcoming the cultural barriers requires, requires first thing that you must do is cultivate cultural awareness among yourself. Learn about things, learn about cultures, read about the cultures. It requires cultivating not only cultures but embracing the diversity. That is, you should be willing, you should have a willingness to accept and learn about the diverse group, the diverse different cultures that are existing. You must be, curious to know about them. You must be learning about their cultures and also adapting communication strategies in order to accommodate various cultural context. I think this is very important if you ever plan for an international visits, if you plan for starting a business on a global platform, or if you want to export or import your goods and services. And even India, because India is a diverse country with different states, with different cultures, with different languages, religion, etc., etc. So you want to do business with the diverse people all around you. You will have to learn about them, understand them. That is what is required in order to overcome this cultural barrier. So. Here we must encourage the open dialogue between the cultural differences, provide cultural training, and also emphasize on emphasizing there are some very essential approaches that one must adopt. So by fostering an environment that acknowledges and respects cultural diversity, individuals and organizations can navigate these barriers and establish effective communication across diverse cultural landscape. Therefore, we can say that in this cultural barrier, varied cultural norms, values, and communication styles r- give rise to this kind of problems. And in order to overcome, one has to cultivate the cultural values, cultural awareness. They have to adapt communication to the cultural context, etc., to overcome this. And it is also an important, if you do this, it is an important component that will be developing your personality too at the same time. After cultural barriers, we have the physical barriers, which represent tangible obstacles that can hinder the smooth exchange of information and ideas between individuals or maybe the groups. These barriers will include some very tangible factors such as distance between two people, maybe two people or maybe two groups sitting together also, but there is a noisy environment and therefore you cannot listen to each other. There can be, a poor visibility that creates challenges in transmitting and maybe receiving the messages effectively. For example, we can say that physical separation due to geographical distances can be another example. um, or different office locations may impede face-to-face communication, leading to reliance on electronic means. So and in addition to all this, maybe noisy surroundings or distractions can also disrupt or disturb verbal communication, making it very difficult to convey or grasp the information accurately. So there are chances that people, they either misinterpret the information, or they do not even they are not able to even hear it or get absorb the whole thing. Maybe it is an incomplete information. Another factor can be poor lighting or inadequate visibility, which may affect the interpretation of verbal cues and visual aids. So overcoming these, how do we try to overcome these physical barriers? Obviously it will involve strategic choices in communication channels, such as utilizing the technology for remote collaboration, ensuring the quiet and well lit environment for meeting. There should be, we must employ visual aids to enhance the comprehension in situation with poor visibility. Addressing the physical barrier is very important for optimizing the communication efficiently and effectively, and ensuring that messages are conveyed, they are conveyed clearly and accurately, despite the external constraint that are maybe surrounding those people who are trying to communicate. So we can say that it is, we must try to overcome the physical distance or noisy environment and poor visibility by working out or ensuring a quiet and well organized and well lit environment in order to enhance the understanding. After physical, we have the emotional barriers. Emotional barriers, um, they manifest when individuals experience heightened emotional state that might disturb the exchange of information and understanding. It is the mental state, emotional feelings of individuals that play an important role in communication exchange. These barriers may include the emotions such as stress, anxiety, fear, apprehensions, excitement, sometime anger or aggressiveness, etc. So it depends upon that what mood swing that person is because of his present presence of mind. So when emotions they run high, cognitive functions can be, maybe they are compromised, leading to misinterpretation or misinterpretation of things, and maybe difficulties in processing the information in within yourself. So individuals might become defensive. They might get closed off. They just close themselves up, or overly they become overly sensitive, hypersensitive, making engaging in engaging themselves in constructive, you know and open dialogue challenging, making it more challenging. So this hinders or maybe this restricts an open dialogue exchange or any kind of discussion, any kind of progressive or productive discussion. So emotional barriers, maybe they are the result of past experiences, biases also, or maybe some personal judgments that color the perception and perception of any individual, because they are overshadowed by the thought process that has already been dominating their minds and their hearts. And therefore those things over influence, and then they influence the communication part also. So this might create more problems, further problems. How should we overcome these barriers? uh, First of all, it calls for a supportive and empathetic communication environment where individual should feel comfortable expressing. They should feel more comfortable expressing their feelings and concerns. Active listening, acknowledging emotions. That is, you should show that yes, you understand what other person is undergoing. You understand what they are suffering, and you, and then maybe you provide a space for open dialogue. It might help in navigating the things and mitigating the impact of emotional barriers, ultimately leading to more effective and meaningful communication within the personal and professional relationships. So one may work in this direction, that is trying to foster a positive and supportive communication environment. You have to encourage open dialogue. You have to talk freely. You have to provide maybe empathy and active listening also, in order to you know, provide opportunities for feedback and address the concerns empathetically. First, you have to generate your understanding for that, obviously. After that, we have the perceptual barriers. Perceptual barriers to effective communication arises from differences in how individuals perceive, that is their perception, uh, how they look at the things, how they interpret those things, how they understand the information. Uh, this is very important, because how you understand, how you interpret anything will also depend upon that what kind of a person you are, what type of a background you possess, etc. These barriers are usually influenced by maybe, uh, influenced by diverse factors. For example, personal experiences, cultural background, social backgrounds, and cognitive differences of all differences. And every human being, they have this different character, different nature, different likes and dislikes. Cognition is different, so this makes them to interpret things in a different way. So when people, they possess a different perspectives to things, they have different perceptions, they have different assumptions, or they filter through, or filters through which they process the information, it can lead to misunderstanding and communication breakdowns, maybe. And this happens often because of this factor, that is the perception factor, how you are perceiving things. So these perceptual differences may affect how individuals assign the meaning to words or gestures, or maybe non-verbal cues, contributing to misinterpretations. Um, it is how you break the information which has been sent to you, that is an important component here. So how should we overcome this? So in order to overcome these barriers, it will involve clarity in it. There should be a clarity in communication. One must seek feedback, that is, one must try to first understand the other person's point of view before you start communicating. And one has to also take measures in avoiding assumptions. There shouldn't be pre-assumptions, pre-notions shouldn't be kept in mind before even before you start to communicate. So in avoiding the assumption about others viewpoint, so and cultivating awareness of one's own perception biases and embracing open mindedness can also contribute to more effective communication by creating an environment that values diverse perspectives, that is different perspectives, different ideas, different, and it also encourages mutual understanding between two people of two different backgrounds. So by addressing the perceptual barriers, individuals can enhance the communication by bridging gaps in interpretation and promoting a shared understanding of information. So we can say that how we have to first empathize and understand the diversity in perception, interpretation, and understanding. Next is the information overload. Information overload also sometimes become a very very strong barrier to effective communication, because it arises when individuals are exposed to excessive information, more than what they need, what they require, making it very challenging to process and comprehend the content. And in today's fast paced and technologically driven world, the constant influx of data through various channels, especially social media or emails, messages, and notification, every time your mobile, there is a ping on your mobile, that is either through WhatsApp or Facebook. You are getting notifications, and something or the other information is conveyed to you. These things they might overwhelm individuals, hindering their ability to focus on essential information. And this overload often results in decreasing the productivity, increasing the stress of one, and a higher likelihood of misinterpretation or oversight also. So to overcome this barrier of overloading yourself with information, I think one must prioritize and organize the information, use clear and concise communication, and provide sufficient time for processing. So, employing efficient information filtering technologies, maybe utilizing appropriate communication channel, and breaking down complex information into manageable chunks are very important strategies in order to mitigate the adverse effects of information overload and ensure that communication remains clear, relevant, and it is easily digestible. So one though I know, I can understand that it is difficult in this era where everything is on your in your mobile, and every second you are getting any one or the other information. But then we have to fix some filters, we have to fix some control mechanism in order to get only what is genuine and what is correct. Otherwise all sort of information start empowering our mental process, and we go for wrong decision making because of overload of information. Next is lack of feedback. The lack of feedback represents a very important barrier within any organizational context. When communication is unidirectional, that is, it moves into one direction only, with minimal or no feedback system at all, it may lead to maybe uncertainty or misunderstandings and missed opportunities for clarification. So, because feedback, it serves as a very vital mechanism for confirming that the intent message has been understood or not, as it was intended. It has been understood as it was intended, and also allows for necessary adjustments or necessary coordinations that if it is required. But if there is absence of feedback, what will happen? Yeah, the communicators, they may remain unaware of potential issues or assumptions or misinterpretation, hindering the overall effectiveness of the communication process completely. So this brings a very big problem then. This generates a very big problem then. So what do we do in order to overcome this? First taken by the organization should be that they should actively encourage a culture of open communication, where the feedback is welcomed, it is respected, and it is valued also at the same time, so that the other person or other individuals, they are not shy in giving the feedbacks. This will involve creating channels for individuals to express their thoughts, their concerns, and they might also be free to ask questions if they have any. This will generate an environment where very constructive criticism is seen as an opportunity for improvement, rather than a negative evaluation. So organizations, they can promote a more transparent and responsive communication culture by addressing the lack of feedback, ultimately enhancing the understanding and collaboration. So this, uh, we must use feedbacks to refine the communication strategies, so that we build up an environment which completes the communication system in a proper way, without creating such misunderstanding or misinterpretations. Next is the technological barriers. That is another issue which is related to communication tools, communication platforms, or devices which are required. That is, we find that these in this modern era, the as every day the technology is advancing, and as the technology advances, the reliance on digital communication tool has increased quite a lot. But this shift or this improvement is, it's not without challenges and problems. It is generating another group of difficulties, that is technical malfunctions, or maybe unfamiliarity, ignorance. I do not know how to use that technology tool. That is with the communication softwares. I do not know how to use this software, etc. And the connectivity issue that hinders, or disturbs the smooth flow of information. So additionally, the rapid evaluation of technology, may create a divide between the tech savvy people or individuals and those people who struggle to adapt, leading to a lack of uniformity in communication practices. And in every organization, we find these two groups. That is, one is tech savvy, tech friendly, the other is ignorant, and they are not able to make up or maybe catch up with the latest development, latest technologies. Maybe we can say that this is, if we just understand it, the age groups also play an important role, and also the learning capacity and the pro-mindedness of people, that how to adapt to the latest technologies coming up. So what has to be done? But because this problem is seen everywhere, is found everywhere, what has to be done to overcome this? To overcome this, I think it is very essential that we provide comprehensive training on communication tool to all the employees, whether they are tech savvy or not. The organization must ensure the technical support, which should be readily available and regularly updated, and maintain the technology infrastructure all around in the organization. Testing communication platform in advance of critical interactions can help prevent disruptions. Maybe encouraging a more smooth and effective communication environment within the organizations. So we can say that issues with communication tools or unfamiliarity with the technology can be overcome, or can be handled by the use of user friendly platforms, and maybe training, and maybe updating the employees uh, through certain rigorous trainings from time to time, and updation, so that, and then counseling session, that how adapting this technology will help them to upgrade themselves and remain at par in the organization. This is But this is something which is really existing in all the domains, in all the organization. Next is personal barriers. Here, the personal barriers to effective communication arises from an individual's thought, attitude, and emotions, impeding, the smooth exchange of information. These barriers, they often stem from personal biases, preconceived notions, or maybe somebody is maybe being introvert or extrovert, or open minded or close minded. uh, these can be, which can be, maybe they overshadow a person's mind and emotions, and they just can might be they cloud the judgment and hinder the receptivity of to diverse perspectives. So maybe in addition to this lack of self awareness about one's communication style and tendencies may also lead to unintentional misunderstandings. If he wants to overcome this, one has to overcome, in fact. So what they require is they should be engaging more in self reflections, actively recognizing and addressing their biases and prejudices, cultivating an open minded attitude, embracing diversity and value value different, the viewpoints of other people also is quite important, very important. So this way they can help themselves in order to, keep away this personal barrier. um, and in addition to this, we can also say that generating more empathy towards others experiences and being more receptive to the feedback from others, it can also break down your uh, personal barriers, creating a communication environment that is more inclusive, understanding, and conducive to mutual understanding and collaboration. And finally, we come to the last barrier, and that is the timing barrier. Timing barrier in communication refers to the challenges that arises when the timing of the message is not appropriate, leading to misunderstanding, missed opportunities, or maybe ineffective communication. Poor timing can maybe they may manifest in various ways, such as maybe delivering critical information at a time when the recipient is not receptive. uh, you know for example, trying to convey to somebody, uh, talk to somebody the other while the other person is asleep, or other person is busy, he is not receptive. Or maybe we can say scheduling important discussion during the period of maybe high stress time, or maybe failing to consider the time zone of or time zone differences in the global communication part. These create certain problems because the other party is not ready to receive those communication. In addition to this, there are delays in conveying the time sensitive information. They can impact the decision making and also disturb the overall effectiveness of communication. In order to overcome these hindrances, one has to first careful to before beginning your conversation, you must very carefully consider the emotional state of the other context. For example, the timing, the background, everything about the sender and the receiver. It requires selecting appropriate moments for crucial conversations, respecting the time constraint, and being mindful to the urgency or sensitivity of the message. So effective communication will depend on what is communicated, depends upon what is communicated and when the communication has occurred, highlighting the significance of timing in generating clear and impactful interaction. So poor timing, because I think poor timing will always result in missed opportunities or maybe missed misunderstandings. So one has to be careful about this, and they have to have, you know um, explore and maybe learn about the differences in timings and try to be more empathetic about these issues. So, by understanding these barriers, after understanding these barriers and learning how to address them, through maybe a combination of awareness, a combination of learning, adaptability, and effective communication strategies, I think individuals and organizations, they can always enhance the quality and effectiveness of their communication process. And for successful business communication, these barriers have to pay attention to, understood well, and then uh, they must be overcome by following the different requirement that are available. Thank you. That is all for this session. Thank you.